Today's episode of the Bill Simmons Podcast on the Ringer Podcast Network, brought to you by SeatGeek, our presenting sponsor. Buy and sell tickets in 2 taps on your phone. Everything fully guaranteed. Sal, do you know you can buy basketball tickets and get a little money off on SeatGeek right now?
That's not true, is it?
Oh, yeah. $30 off your first SeatGeek purchase on NBA tickets. Use promo code NBAPalooza. Expires on November 1st. Download the SeatGeek app or go right to SeatGeek.com. Also brought to you by Proper Cloth. Stop wearing shirts that don't fit. Start wearing custom shirts that fit perfectly because you created them. By answering 10 easy questions, bring Proper Cloth back into your life or bring it into your life. They guarantee a perfect fit. Go to propercloth.com/BS. Enter gift code BS. Save $20 on your first shirt. Again, propercloth.com/BS. Gift code BS. Also brought to you by Against All Odds.
Yeah.
Your podcast. How'd the trifecta do this week?
Well, we ran our episode of the NBA. So
The trifecta wasn't even on at all?
they were not on. It was me, you, and House.
Was the trifecta upset that they were
They were
on?
upset. I tweeted their picks. I don't think they did spectacularly well.
Well, they
this
probably
week.
didn't care.
Yeah,
they probably
didn't
weren't
care
into
as
it.
much. Big one this week. We have, World Series coming up. We have, I don't want to tip it too much, but someone who has something to do with baseball and gambling and well, it can only be 2 people, but
Okay.
I'm not unleashing the Black Sox scandal again.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Go to theringer.com. My column is there every Friday. Did okay on my picks this week. I actually was above 500. Sal, you have the reputation. You're doing these videos for us on Fridays. Mm-hmm. And I don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, but Matt Gothard was in our Slack. You lost the first pick. Mm-hmm. And Matt Gothard has said the biggest lock of all time is Sal getting the second pick after he loses the first pick.
Yeah.
You've gone 1-1 basically every week.
1-1 almost every week.
So if you lose the first pick,
Yeah.
guaranteed second pick. It happened again in Dallas last night.
Right.
yesterday,
And I doubled up
after-
on Dallas. I really like that,
Yeah.
but we'll discuss it.
Okay.
So.
We're going to bring in Pearl Jam, then we're off. Week 7, almost in the books. Feels like the NFL's starting to make more sense. That's my takeaway this
Is that
week.
what you feel like?
Yeah, the favorites kind of took control. We have a little hierarchy now. The Patriots look like the Patriots again.
Yeah.
Steelers look like the Steelers again. It's starting to look like a football season.
I think
wasn't your
I have
takeaway?
exactly the opposite take.
Okay.
I'm the only asshole in the country who thinks maybe we need 2 more preseason games because we're almost 2 months in, and too many of the now I know this happens sometimes, but too many of the good teams take a half or 3/4 of a game off every week. Tate's Panthers, the Steelers obviously had their time a couple of weeks ago. How many near playoff teams look bad? Atlanta was terrible. Tampa Bay, you don't know what to make of that offense. It just seems like they're in preseason form, a lot of these teams.
I did tiers. I think we can actually do the tiers. Top tier, Philly, KC, Pittsburgh, New England. Would you put Seattle in there?
Not yet. I don't think you come off a giant win and figure if your team's good.
So that's our top 4 right now. Philly, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, New England. Roethlisberger looked good yesterday.
He did.
It was the first time he looked confident. He had a nice, tight, hard spiral. Mm-hmm. Didn't make any dumb plays. They look like they're finding their identity. Their defense is good.
Right.
They really kind of demolished the Bengals in the second half. I watched that whole game.
We have that big parlay, division parlay, New England, Pittsburgh, Seattle. It's falling into
Starting to
shape a
feel
little
good.
bit. It's falling
Pittsburgh's
into shape.
basically clinched that division.
Yes.
Tier 2. So we had that. Philly, KC, Pittsburgh, New England is top 4. Tier 2, I got Seattle. I have the Rams. I have the Saints. I got the Redskins and the Chargers in there as 8 and 9. But you could talk me into the next tier is Buffalo, Minnesota, Miami, Jacksonville, Carolina, Atlanta, Dallas. It really starts to fall off.
So Dallas is the last team you met. I would say Minnesota, Dallas could be in that second tier.
I'd like to see Dallas beat a good team. Can I see that?
No, you're not going to see that.
You're gonna load up your record on shit teams, lose
that's fine.
2 half decent teams, and you
whatever.
can't be in tier 2. Beat a good team.
Everyone loved San Francisco Tate last week. Oh, 5 losses by 3 points or less.
Yeah.
And then Dallas goes in and wins. No way Dallas is covering. Then they go in and lay the smack down, and it's like, oh, you just beat a shit team.
That was the
can't win.
response.
Yeah.
Don't look at Tate. Look at me. I'm over here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
over here.
I can't look at you. To that Patriots win.
So I actually liked San Francisco a little bit last week, and I think I switched my pick after I realized that stadium was going to be like 40,000 Dallas fans, which
Yeah.
it was. It was basically West Coast home game for Dallas, which we had that, and then we had the Chargers game.
Right.
A lot of orange.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know whether the Denver fans flew there for a California weekend, or do we have 15,000 Denver fans in Southern California? I find that hard to believe.
I think we do. We had three. We were in Brooklyn last week, our show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, and we had three guys like, I got to get back. We have to get back. I'm going to the Denver fans going to the Chargers game. It's like,
Unbelievable.
wow. How does it stack up? And yet it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Chargers beating a team so soundly.
I'm not sure. Home field advantage just doesn't seem to matter like it once did.
No.
Now that the Ravens can't protect at home, I really don't know who we have other than Seattle. And even Seattle, I don't feel 100% on. But like your team, and like my team, crowd was dead to start that game yesterday, and then eventually got into it once the defense actually
Although
showed
I
up.
think there was some kind of, I don't even know that these exact words were said, but I think Belichick's like, we are not losing 3 home games in 7 weeks. I don't care what happens, you know?
It was it started off weird. The Pats got screwed on a couple calls. I immediately went off Twitter for 2
You thought that
hours.
Gronkowski, you thought that when he shoved you didn't think
In
that was a
slow
bad call?
motion, if at 1/100th of a second, it was a slight
Well, they
shove.
got
But I
it
mean,
right.
people
Yeah.
get shoved on every play. Cooks
Yeah.
got held on the previous play. They didn't call it.
I don't know. All right.
Then they had a 4th and 7 guy blatant holding. They don't call it. It just had all the makings. And then the bottom line is Matt Ryan was terrible in that game. He
Bad.
missed open dudes. He had open dudes in the end zone. He had open dudes. They had guys open, I thought, that whole game. And I just thought he played badly.
Yeah, it did seem like they don't have. I even texted my buddy the trifecta. I was like, "Did these guys even practice during the week?" Because Ryan is off by like 3 yards.
Why aren't I on the trifecta text?
No,
Why
you
do you
can't
have
make
this
it.
special collection of texts that
Not
I'm
about
not
the
involved
Patriots.
in?
You'd hate it. It's a lot of it's anti-Patriots. I'll put you on if you want.
That hurts my feelings.
But you knew that game was over when Brady threw that pass, picked off, and there was.
You know what? You know when I knew it was
you
over?
You could have shut it right then.
No, it
Picked
was
off
10
and he
nothing.
gets
We
it.
were texting about the live betting about
Yeah,
the Falcons because
right.
I thought they were going to make a run. And then these idiots, they're at midfield with 2 minutes left,
They give him the whole thing.
4th and 6. And I was actually watching with my nephew, and I was saying, like, well, if they went for it on 4th and 7, they got to go for it on 4th and 6. But then after they did it, I flip-flopped on it. I was like, that was so stupid. But if they just punt there, it's 10-0 halftime. It's doable.
And you're getting
17-0
the ball.
was not doable.
And you're getting the ball down
Yeah,
10-0 in a half that you were destroyed. Like, it was really stupid the way it came out.
I will tell you this. Now that my team has played the Falcons twice in 10 months, I think Freeman maybe has like 23 carries in those 2 games combined for like 150 yards.
Right.
I don't think we can tackle him. We can tackle him if they stack the line on him. I definitely don't think we can cover him like on screens and wheel routes, stuff like that. He was the guy I was terrified of, and he barely got the ball. It was just stupid. It was a really bad game plan. I think Sarkisian's a nightmare.
Take it away from him. Take the game plan. I mean, you have too many explosive players to be running this vanilla offense every week. I mean, really, they could have been 1-5. The Detroit and Chicago games were closed in last second. Take it away from them. This team should score. Maybe not like last year where Ryan had like almost 10 yards a pass, but they should score in the 30s every game. Certainly against this Patriots defense.
We had this cornerback out there who they made a trade because they thought he'd help the special teams, and now all of a sudden he's like shutting down Mohamed Sanu.
Right.
I don't get it. I'm not going to get seduced by the Pats. Have too many no-name guys on D, and I thought Ryan missed a lot of throws. I am not ready to say the Patriots defense is back. I think it was a weird game. The fog was weird. Matt Ryan sucked. The Falcons couldn't stay out of their own way. And I'm not going to make any grand assumptions. Like the Pats are available in our fantasy league, right?
The defense?
I think they are.
Right. No,
I wouldn't go in and be like, oh, I'm spending $20. Like this is going to, I just don't think they're that good.
Well, they're not sacking, but they're, I don't, did you think for a second that fog was smoke? And like, I joked on Twitter about it and got a lot of shit for it, but I'm thinking Falcons get the first possession. They overdid the halftime show with smoke.
Intentionally?
Intentionally. They know Bryant can't kick a field goal. He can't see when it's clear out. You know, why not just for this first drive?
It's almost like you think my team doesn't have any integrity.
It's almost exactly like that. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
We're starting to figure out how to use Brandon Cooks, which makes me feel good.
Yeah, that's good.
They have all these running backs, like just whoever's in. It's like each guy's a different guy. It's kind of cool. Hey, look, nobody's good in the league.
Yeah, but I thought like that's just that's exactly the point. The Patriots switch it up, and no one switches it up like Belichick. But come back with something, Atlanta, and like no matter how much I heard, there's a revenge game down 28-3. They're gonna come back. This is the game. I was like, there's nothing you could do to make up for losing in the Super Bowl the way you did. Don't even worry about this game representing that. And I think they took that to heart. They're like, okay, we can't make that up.
Right.
We're gonna go out there.
I knew we were gonna win at halftime because they asked Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
It was those sideline reporters like, I asked Dan Quinn, what's the plan for the second half? And he said, attack, attack, attack. I was like, this is how you lost the last game.
Right.
How about this? Try to get some drives.
Yeah.
Run Freeman down our throats.
Yeah.
Use your tight end who you never threw to. We can't cover tight ends the whole season.
You like the jet sweep from the 170-pound receiver on 4th and goal.
I absolutely love that.
What happens to teams? Teams just become
They lose their minds.
They become stupid and paralyzed at the goal line when they
The
play
Chargers
the
did
Patriots.
it the first drive against the Broncos. It four runs from the 1 yard line. They just kept running Melvin Gordon into 9 guys.
Yeah.
It's like, just do anything. Do play action, throw to the tight end.
Yeah. It just seems like the Raiders get untimed plays, like 2 untimed plays. You should be able to figure something out that either draws a penalty or gets a yard.
I want to talk about Cam Newton. But let's talk about DraftKings really quick. Week 8, football season in full swing, which begs the question, how is your football team doing in fantasy, Sal? How's your fantasy football team doing?
Think I'm 3-3, and I need like
You need some
28
help?
points from Cousins. I need
So
some
you're going to be
help.
3-4. I'm 4-3.
You are.
Yeah. I kind of like my team, actually. That doesn't mean I don't like daily fantasy, though.
Okay.
DraftKings created, public contests with big cash prizes, private contests. We've never done this. Compete against a group of your friends. We should do this.
Let's do it.
Do me, you, the trifecta.
Where do we get these
Romo. We'll get a whole bunch of people in there. Single entry contest, which I did this week. I've won twice in the last 5 weeks. This week I lost because I had Carson Palmer as my quarterback.
Oh.
Couldn't figure out a quarterback, and it was between him and Tyrod Taylor. I want to go cheaper.
Right.
Carson Palmer, broken arm. He's done. They also created Pick'em, the newest and fastest way to play 1 week fantasy. DraftKings organized players in 8 tiers. All you have to do is select one player from each tier. The best part about DraftKings, draft a new team each week without any commitment. That's why I like DraftKings.
Pretty good.
I like not having commitments to my fantasy players.
You are-
like right now I'm committed to Christian McCaffrey because Dalvin Cook's out for the year. So Tate hates Christian McCaffrey because he's helping to kill the Panther season. I hate him because he's killing my fantasy team. He's just not that good. He's like a 6-foot Danny Woodhead. I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed by all the people.
With
who love
DraftKings,
college.
you wouldn't have to stick with him.
That's
every week.
offensive to Danny Woodhead.
Yeah, Danny Woodhead's like, what? I'm right here. Go to DraftKings.com. Use promo code Simmons to play for free for your share of over $1 million in total prizes. Promo code Simmons. Minimum $5 deposit required. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Cam Newton. I'm in the car today. Coward's on. I always like listening to the first 8 minutes of Coward. Calls Cam Newton Scam Newton.
Oh.
Have you heard that one before?
No.
Doesn't even say Cam Newton. He's scam. He just goes right in and calls him Scam Newton. Tate, your thoughts? Scam Newton.
Scam Newton, I mean, that's 2011 joke.
Okay.
I mean, that's from the whole NCAA thing. So that's already done. That's played out. That's like talking about John Wall doing the Dougie. That was from 2010. We're past all that. So maybe he needs to find new material. I don't know. That's weird.
Tate, do you want to apologize to Sal and I because we lost money on the Panthers yesterday? Under the thinking of Mitch Trubisky clearly only knows 8 plays. They're
And
not
his
going
boy
to throw the
Trubisky.
ball. Carolina, all they have to do is just not turn the ball over, and
So
the Bears won't score.
What I thought it was,
I blame you.
I thought it was going to be a low-scoring, old-school game, wing T offense, 3-3, and it was.
Yeah.
Except for Eddie Jackson gets 2 touchdowns. So we basically have a 3-3 game without this Alabama-Auburn rivalry that happens between Eddie Jackson and Cam Newton. So it's not. Cam was having his own, problems that were separate from the game. If Cam Newton just stayed back and just didn't turn the ball over, we have a 3-3 game. We have overtime.
It made
You
no
could have
sense.
you could have had him kneel 3 times and punt.
Exactly.
And just waited for
Right.
Trubisky to screw up, and
Right.
you would have won 7-0.
Exactly.
And it's not even Keekle's out. The Bears scored 40 points. It was the most bizarre box score you'll ever see. Where they have like 160, 170 total yards.
He completed 4 passes.
12 passes he's completed in 2 weeks. They have 2 wins. 2 wins with 12 completions.
He's a winner.
They're not running the Navy offense. This is crazy. Like they're winning these games. But I'll say this. I don't blame Cam that much. That second pick rather to Trevor them. That was terrible. Oh, we can't get worse than that. But the two returns for touchdowns, not necessarily his fault. The hat choice post game, that's his fault. He needs a losing hat and he needs a winning hat. He can't wear the same hat. He looks ridiculous. He's wearing a clown's outfit and talking serious.
He looked like he was from Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who I blame? Scam Newton.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that from?
Scam Newton.
I like that.
I love that old school radio, just completely insulting the guy with the nickname. Scam Newton. I think I just can't believe the Bears can win 2 straight football games
12 completions.
with a quarterback who they will not run traditional pass plays for.
No.
He either hands off or they roll him out. And then you have Jacksonville, basically the same thing with Bortles. I mean, they opened it up a little bit because Indy's quitting on their coach. But
Real quick, Kelvin Benjamin, is he the most frustrating player? Was that right before half? He catches the ball. The offense has to hurry to the line and snap, line up for a field goal, spike it. He's holding the ball. The ref has to grab it from him. Now it becomes the ref's deal.
They're the worst 2-minute offense in football.
Oh,
You'll never
man.
see people just be so confused and stupid 24/7.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Cam. The thing about Cam is that Matt Ryan's not gonna he had this horrible game last night, and everyone's like, "Well, we know he's an elite quarterback. On to the next week." But Cam just is gonna get killed all week,
Every week.
and he
It's
reacts to
question.
it every week. It's like if he didn't react, they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
yeah, Coward wasn't like flat Ryan. Interesting.
Yeah.
Doesn't pick on the white quarterback,
No.
but comes up with Scam Newton.
Oh, wow.
Just throwing it out there.
This is
How about
crazy,
Flat Ryan?
isn't it?
If you're going to Scam Newton, you got to do Flat Ryan.
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. What are some of the others? I
I like those two.
can't even think. Yeah.
Blake Bortles. Most impressive this week for me. Steelers. I really like their defense. That team looks like they're built for November, December, January.
Yeah.
The Le'Veon Bell, just 25
Always.
to 30 runs, some D, couple long passes, Brown on third
You
down.
like the TJ Watt, the fist pumps, the
Yeah,
replays.
he's exciting.
Like, all right,
Yeah.
let's get that going.
Matt Moore is so much better than Jay Cutler. We knew this going into the season. We've talked about it on this podcast. Matt Moore was good for them last year and got concussed in the playoff game. And then everybody's like, Matt Moore sucks because he threw 3 picks.
Right.
Matt Moore doesn't suck. Matt Moore is solid. You compare him to the other dudes in that category, he's had much more success.
Here's what's great. The last few weeks, not last week, but the weeks before, you had to wait to see if Bradford was starting or Case Keenum before Vegas would put a line out.
Yeah.
The difference between Moore, who we think is probably playing because Cutler has a cracked rib, no, that line's out Sunday during halftime. They got we
Yeah.
don't care. His team's better with Moore.
Yeah, absolutely. Least impressive, the Josh McCown pick with 40 seconds left against the Dolphins was incredible.
After you proclaimed him the third best Jets quarterback of all
He
time.
might have been number 3. He fell
wrong.
back down to number 7.
Yeah.
But that was terrible. Miami has a knack for winning stupid games. Did you see they're 13-4 in their last 17?
Yes. Yeah.
That makes
That's
no
insane.
sense at all.
Yeah.
13-4.
Wow.
Indy, I don't know what I would do if I ran Indy because it's almost like what happened with the Phoenix Suns. They just fired Earl Watson after 3 games.
By the way,
because-
what were the odds an NBA coach would be fired before an NFL coach?
Oh, that had to be what, 9-1, 10-1?
Easy, yeah.
They were
After a
so
week?
bad in those 3 games. I sent my son and my nephew went to the Saturday night Clippers Suns game, and then they fired the Suns coach. And my nephew, who's not a huge NBA fan, was like, "Oh, I would have guessed that,"
Right.
Because they weren't even playing defense. But if you're running Indianapolis, shouldn't you keep Pagano?
The whole city or just the team? If you're running
For
Indianapolis,
just the
Oh, yeah,
franchise, not the whole city. Would you keep Pagano because he's going to get you the number 1 pick or the number 2 pick if you keep him? That team's quit on him. It's over.
So that's interesting. So you say keep him. You mean get rid of him in January?
Yeah,
first
you're like,
day of January.
he's definitely going, but
Right.
might as well lose 9 more games or eight or 9 or whatever and get first or second pick. And then they're in the catbird seat with, Luck coming back and then this high pick that they can flip.
You just get bad will with your fans after a while for keeping a lame duck coach around. But it doesn't matter. It's not like the new guy, if they brought him in, is going to bring Andrew Luck. Is going to force Andrew Luck to play.
That's the best. That's one of the best jobs in football if they pull this off correctly.
You think so?
Yeah. If they can flip that pick, give me a name who coaches the Colts next year. Gruden?
I feel like that's what everyone wants, but why would he leave the booth, right?
If I was an owner and I listened to Gruden do Monday Night Football, it would make me not want to hire him as a coach. He doesn't say anything like that astute ever.
Yeah.
Romo's ruined all the other announcers for me. Even Collinsworth, who I loved, I just feel like Romo's just like, watch this. Right here, there's gonna be, and I'm learning stuff play after play after play from him.
Yeah, well, he's making look the worst. Aikman. Like, why don't we get the same from Aikman? Like, I know he's not as dynamic a personality, but why don't we learn more about the cover 2? Like, I feel like I know everything about the cover 2 because of Romo now.
He's really exposed so many of these guys, and he's so enthusiastic. He's just been incredible.
It could be. I was just thinking John Harbaugh could be one of the ones. He might be out of Baltimore soon, and the Colts could try to scoop him up or something.
What about the other Harbaugh? He's not around.
Jim,
He's not in Michigan next year.
Nick Saban doesn't have the balls, right, to leave college.
No.
He's a coward.
I love that.
Mallory loves it when I do this. Nick Saban's a coward.
He's a
The
Colin
friendly
Howard.
confines of the SEC. Atlanta 41 points in the last 3 games, which I just can't believe. Cross-offs. I got 5. Cleveland, Indy, Giants, San Francisco, now Arizona because Palmer's out.
Yeah, that's right.
Anybody else you'd cross off? You can talk me into Cincinnati, but 9 and 7 might be a wild card team in the AFC. I don't feel like we can cross them off.
That's a good 5. I do think Cleveland, San Francisco, and Indy are a special 3. Like they could lose every week. It's weird because like all week we've been saying underdogs. This is a new NFL. What were faves? 12-1 straight up. 8-3-2 against the spread.
Yeah,
this would have been the week to have teasers.
Well, it was the correction week, right?
Yeah, they corrected.
Yeah, we felt. I think if we hadn't been so scarred by the previous couple weeks, I think Dallas would have been in a tease for us with at least 2 or 3 other teams.
This is what the NFL does to us.
So Lombardi and Tate are putting up these quickie pods on Saturday mornings, where Lombardi just rips through 5 or 6 games that he kind of likes the matchup. It's 15 minutes total. He went basically 4-1 the first time we did it, and then last week 5-1.
Yeah,
and the only one he lost was the Bears.
Yeah,
nailed all the other ones. One of the ones he really liked. He thought the Browns had a chance to beat the Titans. So I texted you that parlay. I did the Ohio underdog parlay.
All Ohio.
Bengals Browns. It was like 8-1.
Right.
Lost it, but it was fun to root
fun
for.
for a minute. The Titans screwed up at the goal line. A lot of teams screwing up at the goal line, but. Yeah, that was the time. It's bad for the Browns the rest of the way. If they can't take a Titans team coming on the road, coming to Cleveland on a short week, it's going to be rough.
It's time to pick our captain, Sal.
Oh, we're doing it?
The captain will not rest until he has brought his adventurous spirit and delicious rum to every corner of America. Variety, the spice of life. That's why Captain Morgan has spiced up life quite a bit. They've developed a collection of rum, each with its own distinct flavor and personalities. Original spice, coconut, pineapple, white, black, grapefruit, whatever you want. The captain loves anyone who learns to mix like a captain. Who's your captain this week, Sal?
Well, I wonder if you have the same one. This is pretty obvious, but not. I should first say last week it was Adrian Peterson. So I might be the new Sports Illustrated cover.
Captain Jinx.
Or the Madden cover for, I could be the Jinx. So I'm sorry, Joe Thomas, if that's the case, but you're my captain. 10,363 consecutive snaps for Cleveland, a team that players wouldn't even walk in the stadium, let alone play for all those years. 11 years, unbelievable. Can you imagine never missed a snap? Imagine never missing a meeting or a conference call or catching the flu from one of your terrible kids. 10,363 snaps. No matter what accolades he gets from this, I think he'll always be the most underrated player in football. I really do.
He's the Cal Ripken of football.
He really is. It's spectacular, and there's no shortage of accolades here. You, Joe Thomas, my captain of the week. What do you say, Bill
My
Simmons?
captain is Y.A. Tittle.
Oh, we screwed up.
We screwed up.
Yeah.
He died a couple weeks ago too, which made it worse.
Yeah.
Last week we had this whole conversation about whether a quarterback has ever a quarterback with initials first name has ever been good in the football, and neither of us could come up with one.
Yeah.
And of course we forgot about Y.A. Tittle, who was a champion, who was
Right.
pretty iconic quarterback in the 50s and 60s.
Sure.
I would say he was on the short list of the greats, and both of us forgot about him.
Great.
So I'm making him my captain.
All right.
He can't hear me because unfortunately he died.
Yeah.
and
Doesn't do him a lot of good now, but yeah.
and he was in the news, which made it worse. So
I
we
know.
forgot them. But the readers also sent some initial names that we forgot. Here's the best five: J.P. Lozman,
Right.
A.J. Feely, T.J. Yates, A.J. McCarron, and J.T. O'Sullivan. I stand by the initials
J.T.
thing. Y.A.
O'Sullivan.
Tittle was 50 years ago.
Wow, right.
I think if there's a CJ, an AJ, a JR, it's just not going to work. Somebody did mention, though, AC Slater,
Wow.
star quarterback at Bayside.
Was he? I know he wrestled on the team.
Yeah, he was the QB, too. He was an initial name. So
Oh, that's
our
good.
only two are Y.A. Tittle and AC Slater.
So what do you name your kid if you want to breed a quarterback? You stay away from the initials.
I think you go with Matt or Matthew.
Matt, huh? Not
Yeah.
Dan, Fouts, Marino.
No, Matt.
Matt.
Matt Iacano, I think, would have
Yeah,
played.
that would have been good.
Would have played in college.
Matthew's pretty good. Yeah.
Matt Simmons might have made it.
Right.
Matt Frazier, I think, is definitely.
It's my cousin, Matt Frazier.
Yeah. I'm not allowed. I'm
Can
not
I
allowed
say
to have kids
The
for
Matt
14
Leinart,
more years.
The
but-
Matt Leinart led flag football team beat my son's flag football team last night. So it's another
Really?
another Matt. Yeah. Yep. That's fun. That's not
exciting,
Even,
though.
that's not
That's
even my parent corner story. Look out.
That's a good loss.
Yeah.
All right, let's do week 8 lines.
Let's do it.
We have
6 buys.
Yeah, 6 buys. So we have the buy teams are Tennessee, who probably need a buy after they could barely beat the Browns.
Right.
Jacksonville. I like the way they're playing. Nice bye week. They're going to feel really good about themselves, and then things are going to turn. The Giants probably could have used the bye week.
It'd take 3 weeks off. Yeah.
The Packers definitely could use a bye week.
For sure.
They're going to just be flooding stem cells in the Aaron Rodgers collarbone. Arizona, another team that could really desperately need a bye week. They're looking at Drew Stanton's been their backup quarterback since like 1985
Right.
when they had Jim Hart. And then last but not least, the Rams of Los Angeles, 5-2
Rams.
They have single-handedly kept me afloat with gambling, with picking games in my column. Every week I think I've
love
ridden
them.
them. They've
Yeah.
been awesome. That was the dumbest line I thought in a couple weeks. That line, the Rams Arizona line in
3.5.
London.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're at least 6 points. Even Palmer or no Palmer.
That was smart.
Just a good team.
I look at these bye teams, the Jags and the Rams. Remember, there was a time when they have like 20 points at half now. You used to have to wait a month for them to score 20 points. Now, each of them are like just put up, whether it's defensive touchdowns or whatever, they are blowing out teams. Very strange year.
The weirdest thing is they've gotten nothing from Watkins other than that one game.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, you would think like, would they give up a 2nd-round pick for him?
Was it a 2?
I don't know if either
No, I
they're
don't know
not
if
using
it's
them
that
correctly
much. I
or
didn't think it
whatever's
was that
going on.
much.
All right, so Thursday night. God, I apologize in advance, America. We were in a nice little run of Thursday night games.
Right.
And that run has crashed into a guardrail. The Ravens at home play Matt Moore and the Dolphins. I do not recommend watching the Ravens. If there's a Thursday nighter to skip, I
Can
think
you
this
go
is it.
pumpkin patch picking and hunting, as you said, and
On Thursday night, maybe
Yeah.
go to like one of those Halloween places.
The small ones, yeah.
One of those scare places. I have the Ravens by 2.5. I don't feel good about it.
I think I get this. Let me run through the math. I said 4. It's 3.5. Let me
That's
ask you
too
this.
high.
Let me ask you this.
That's too high.
Does
The
anyone,
Ravens stink.
and obviously they don't have anyone on your on the team offensively that scares you, right?
How about this? Does a Ravens start for any half decent fantasy team the rest of the way?
Any Raven? Well, Tucker.
Justin Tucker,
Yeah,
who's
that's
on my
it.
team.
Yeah.
But that's it. No,
No.
skill position guy. You would never. Flacco wouldn't even be on a team.
There are 3 teams that don't have an offensive player that scare me: the Ravens, the Browns. I wrote it down. I can't think of the third. Who is it? Who's the
Ravens,
third team?
Browns, not San Francisco, Giants.
Giants now. Obviously, when Odell's in the lineup, it's different. But That's crazy. Just those three.
The Bears have a guy? I guess Cohen and Howard.
Oh, yeah, no. Howard, Cohen.
I was trying to think of there no receivers, though.
Yeah. Panthers, maybe.
Yeah, we're giving Hyde a lot of credit. You saying that he's scary.
Garcon's a little scary.
Yeah.
He'll make plays. He'll get open. He'll do stuff. Who scares you in the Jets, just out of curiosity?
Maybe the
Safarian
Jets.
Jenkins?
Safarian Jenkins, honestly.
The syndrome.
Yeah. They're at the
I had a good
7-yard
email
line.
about that in my mailbag this week.
Yeah.
Somebody said that his nickname should be the syndrome.
Oh, right, yeah, I
So
saw that,
it
yeah.
sounds like something your dad would come down with. Safarian Jenkins syndrome. I like that one. The syndrome has had a touchdown for me every week.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. He was a Lombardi preseason fantasy pick.
Mm-hmm.
And Lombardi's kid coaches him.
Is that true?
Young Lombardi, tight ends coach for the
Oh,
Jets.
wow.
Wow.
Look at that. Sunday marquee. You're going to be happy. I have selected. I never tell you who I'm picking for the Sunday
You only have
marquee
one game?
Yeah. I think you got to pick. It's got to
Oh,
be
all
one
right.
game.
Okay.
Dallas at Washington. It's a great
I
game.
appreciate that.
Is Romo gonna be announcing that one?
I think it's Houston, Seattle. No,
No.
He's CBS.
I would so much rather watch Washington
Really?
Dallas. Oh, yeah. Especially if Romo's announcing. Whatever
Why
Romo
do you
is
think he's
announcing is my
announcing?
marquee
He's
game.
CBS. Why would he do the
Oh,
Dallas
yeah, you're
one?
right. He wouldn't be announcing that. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
So this is Joe Buck, Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
Does Troy Aikman just follow the Cowboys around every week? Can Romo announce this? Can we get Romo? Can we make a trade?
You'll get him on Thanksgiving.
Can
That'll
Romo
be
announce
it.
the AFC and NFC title games? How do we figure this out? He's got an hour to go from one place to the next.
He can do it
Can
all.
he do it by satellite?
He can do it all.
I have Washington favored by 3.
I was surprised at the line here. I had also Washington favored by 3. Dallas favored by 1 now.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I'm telling you, man. There's a lot of Dallas buzz. Who are your 3 wins?
San Francisco. Wait,
Congratulations.
the Giants.
Oh, great.
Why can't I think of now? Lost the Eagles. San Francisco.
Cardinals.
Lost to the Rams.
You beat the Cardinals.
Cardinals. Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
All right. What do you want me to do?
You haven't beaten a good team yet. Vegas is stupid.
This will be the team.
This
This
is
will
a
be the
dumb
team
line.
to win.
Well,
But
we'll
you
know
have
more
to
about
think, that Ezekiel Elliott run down the sideline. That was Barry Sanders college-esque. I think you said Marcus Dupree. It really just looked like a college guy taking off in one of the many highlights you see on Saturday afternoon.
And they're just too good for anyone to make a tackle, but he's in the NFL, so
Right.
someone should be able to make a tackle.
Sure. Yeah. Cut
Well,
down
he's
an angle or
finally
something.
getting in shape in mid-October. He came in like a sausage.
Yeah.
He's starting to actually move faster.
Yeah.
Well, we'll know more about Washington tonight because I'm not sure we have 2 wildcard teams in the NFC. Mm-hmm. Like, seriously, who are the 2 wildcard teams?
So, you don't think the Lions make a comeback?
No.
Get to 9-7 or
don't.
something? No.
I
Someone
think,
in the NFC West. You don't think the Rams and
right.
Seattle,
Rams, Seahawks.
Okay. And then, maybe it's not the NFC South.
I think it'll end up being someone in the NFC South.
You do?
Yeah.
You think they get
I think
I would
between
say-
Saints, Panthers, Falcons, one of those two. Like,
When was the last time
I would say the NFC East has a slightly better chance.
the Saints are favored to win the NFC South? Was that the first time in 5 years?
Why do we have 2 playoff teams in the NFC South?
No, I don't yet.
I think the Saints are in the kind of the driver's seat.
Yeah. They are minus.
I don't trust Carolina. I don't trust Atlanta.
They're plus 110. to win the
Definitely don't
South.
trust Tampa. I would say Rams, Seattle both make it, and I think Dallas or Washington is the other one.
It's so
potentially.
early.
It's so early, but I
think
mean
you're
that's
right.
what.
Right now, if you had to say that, I mean, but what if? I guess Green Bay's just not going to win enough games. They're
Can't
just
do
not
it.
going to get there.
That guy's not good enough. Huh,
Even
Mike?
if he comes back week 13.
Can't do it. Can't do it. You got to get to 9-7, 10-6. I don't think they can.
What
do
if he
it.
only has to win 2 more games and then Rodgers wins the last 4?
He's not good enough.
Wow. People can't even. They don't even know if it's Brent Huntley or Brett
Brett
Huntley.
Huntley. But I mean, they
Howard's
did.
got to give him a nickname already.
They did what you do in fantasy when you spend $45 on Tom Brady in 2008.
Right.
If he goes down, you're going to lose anyway.
right.
And that was their mentality.
That's
He
it.
went down and they're screwed. All right, Poop Fecta. I have 3 games. You might disagree with 3. You could make a case for 2, but I put in 3. Bengals home for the Colts. Mm-hmm. I don't want to watch a minute of this game.
No, me neither.
I don't want to watch 1 second. I have Bengals are at home. God, I'm probably too low in this. I have Bengals by 8.5.
You're too low. I was way low. They have them by 10. That's crazy. What's Vegas' infatuation with the Bengals? I know the Colts got sacked 10 times yesterday, but what is So now that Bengals Steelers was 6, it went down to like 3.5, 4 yesterday,
Yeah.
and they got crushed. They really did get beat up. Now they're a double-digit favorite.
I didn't like their.
I don't think they're back yet.
I found myself saying this a lot yesterday, but I did not like their game plan. I think Mixon's good.
Yeah.
He really
fine.
is. Like he's got the B button spin move, and he can do some stuff. And the more they hand off to him, the more I won't think about the fact that he's an awful human being every time he has the ball. but he's good. I don't know why they didn't ride him.
Right.
Second one, Eagles on the road in San Francisco with about 40,000 Philadelphia fans there.
No. Home.
Oh, they're home for this?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's at Eagles.
Okay, there you go. I'm going to go Philly by 13.5.
All right, I get this. That would have been bad cheating anyway. It's 11.5. I said 12.5.
Okay.
Yeah, that's boy. Do they have a chance, San Francisco there?
No.
In short week? No. I guess. Yeah, flying east.
I actually think they might have a better chance to win their first game on the road than at home.
At
I think
home.
Cleveland has a better chance at home, but that San Francisco situation is so bad with that stadium. Mm-hmm. It's in the middle of nowhere. You can't get there. You can't get out. Nobody wants to go.
They're going to have to sneak up on somebody, but maybe not this game.
Third one, the Browns are just in the poop fact every week. I don't see how you get out of it. They're home this week.
This is in London, actually.
Oh, my God. I really got to work
That's
harder.
all right. You know, if
gotta
you see
work harder.
6:30 a.m. start, you can almost guarantee
This is
it's
a
London.
London game?
Yeah.
They had a great promo last night for it.
It actually doesn't affect my pick. I'm going to go Vikings 7.5.
Oh, I had it too, and it is exactly 7.5. Started at
Okay.
8.
I don't
I
think it
think-
matters if Cleveland's home or not with gambling lines.
Can I read you my favorite Hugh Jackson trend or tweet or whatever I
Yeah.
found in here? Wait, hold on. Let me find that's good. This is all right. Hugh Jackson in the last 28 regular season games in which Hugh Jackson was the head coach, Oakland/Cleveland. He is 2-0 on Christmas Eve and 0-26 every other day.
Is that fireable?
Just not on Christmas. How do you do that to a guy on Christmas? He's the gift that keeps on giving. Hugh Jackson. Now favored to be the first coach fired at -250. Pagano 5-1 and McAdoo Little 8-1.
Sal, Hugh Jackson's looking for wins. We're all looking for something.
What's this?
For some, it's love. For some, it's purpose. Unforgettable experiences. But for most, like my wife, she's looking for her keys. With Tracker Pixel, you'll never worry about losing things again. Do you know about this? It's a really
about
cool
this.
product.
Yeah.
8 years ago, they released everything or changed everything by releasing their first tracking device. Now they've done it again with the all-new Tracker Pixel, the latest Bluetooth tracking device on the market. You can put it on any of your kids. Mm-hmm. Put it on your wife.
Yeah.
Place Tracker Pixel on whatever you tend to lose, keys, wallet, your cat, you name it. Whenever you misplace an item that has a Tracker Pixel attached, use your smartphone and a 90 decibel alert will help you find it in seconds. Powerful LED lights so you can find things in the dark. Can find your phone even when it's on silent. Mm-hmm. And since every Tracker user is part of the largest located network in the world, you can even locate items from miles away. Tate, you could have put a Tracker Pixel on Cam Newton yesterday.
Oh.
Because he disappeared.
Yeah.
Scam Newton. Thanks to Tracker's 30-day money-back guarantee, you truly have nothing to lose. Here's what you have to do. Go to thetrackr.com. thetrackr.com/BS for 20% off any order. That is thetrackr.com/BS for 20% off. Ron Rivera, think about it.
Yeah, do
Next
it.
time Cam Newton disappears on a road game, you know what to do.
You know, real quick, your wife and my wife, they lose, what would you say, dozens of sunglasses a year? Dozens of pairs of
I wouldn't
sunglasses?
even. I
Sunglasses.
wouldn't let my wife spend more than $20 on sunglasses because it was just
When
burning money.
When you consider a move from the East Coast to the West Coast and try to factor in how much more it's going to cost you, throw another $600 for a year for sunglasses.
Yeah. Need it.
Ridiculous.
My wife. I can't even talk about this. She's gonna get mad at me. It's just like just put the keys in one spot.
Yeah.
It's a bowl. You walk in the house, just put the keys in the bowl.
Same spot every time.
Put them in the bowl. Then when there's like, hey, I'm going to get my keys, I'm going to leave, I'm going to go
Leave
to
them
the
in
bowl.
the car. Leave them in the car with the door open.
Do we need spouse corner? Do we need to launch spouse corner? You don't understand what I do every day. I actually don't. I don't totally understand it. I know that you lose your keys a lot. All right, let's go to the pumpkin patch pickers.
All right. Oh.
Yeah, one more week to get pumpkins.
So wait, these are games that you should be picking pumpkins instead?
Yeah, I wouldn't watch any of these games.
Okay, but they're not the poof. Okay.
I don't know if it's picking pumpkins.
What is it?
Picking,
Isn't it pumpkin picking?
pumpkin patch
What is
picking.
it? It's not hunting.
I think it's hunting, right? You're not like picking.
It-
I mean, I guess you pick
It
it
is
up.
hunting?
I don't know.
What does Scam Newton say?
There's apple picking, but I don't know if this is pumpkin picking.
All right, well,
he
pumpkin apple picking.
All right.
New Orleans is home for the Chicago Bears. I guess you might want to watch this if you
Yeah.
want to see an NFL team run an offense that doesn't have pass plays. But I have the Saints. By the way, they've called me and they said if you don't tease us this week with at
Yeah,
least
I
one
know.
other game, you're a coward.
I believe.
I'd be a bigger coward than Nick Saban for not coaching an NFL team. I have the Saints by 7.5.
You got it. I said 7. It's 8. And I
Who are we
agree with you.
Who are we teasing them with? I'm back
I don't
after a
think
week. After an emotionally
I don't
scarring
think we
week, I'm
saw it
back
yet.
with teasers.
I'll say this: the Saints, the 2 weeks before Detroit, they hadn't given up a touchdown pass, and that Detroit game was crazy. They got up by 40 and they gave up a couple of touchdown passes, but I don't think they have to worry about allowing a touchdown pass this week.
No.
That defense has been shut down. It's better. They're just that guy Kamara is fun. They split the carries with Ingram. They stack the box against Ingram. He still finds yards. It's very strange. what
I
they're
really
doing.
genuinely like Kamara.
Yeah.
I actually think he should get the ball more than he does. I think he's
Right.
really dangerous. It's so funny though. The Bears can change the players in their team. They can change their coaches, and they still come up with these weird teams that score in unconventional ways and get defensive touchdowns and get returns, and they'll run like wide receiver option passes
Right,
and
yeah.
reverses, all these fucking garbage plays that work in video games and that in the NFL, and yet for the Bears they work.
Right.
And it's like, how'd the Bears win? Oh, they had their safety got a fumble touchdown and an interception touchdown.
And that doesn't even seem to be John Fox's way, right?
No.
Yeah.
It's just something about the Bears.
Yeah.
Oh, Bears.
Magical.
The Jets are home. Josh McCown. I haven't done my final rankings yet, but I still think he's one of the 10 best Jets quarterbacks of all time. But he's lower now. He might be like number 8. I think he's like neck and neck with Richard Todd.
Richard
Who'd you
Todd,
rather have,
yeah.
Richard Todd or Josh McCown?
Yeah. What's the other Ryan?
You'd
Pat
rather have
Ryan?
him than Glenn Foley.
Yep. I think so. Pennington?
I'd rather have Pennington.
You would?
Yeah.
It's right up there, right in there.
Jets are home for the for Flat Ryan and the Falcons. Mm-hmm. I have the Falcons laying 2.5 points.
Wow.
Yeah. Too low?
I'm going to figure out who gets this. I get this. I said 6. Start at 7. It's 4.5. And this would be a dagger for the Falcons if they can't pull this out, right?
They're poorly coached.
Yeah.
Hate to say it, but it's true. Their play calling is atrocious.
They can't go to 3.
They
and
should
4.
get a new offensive coordinator before this game. There's got to be somebody who's better than
Or at
Steve
least someone
Sarkisian.
needs to call plays.
Wasn't he
How
out
about
of
the MVP calls his own plays?
Yeah.
How about Matt Ryan?
How
calls his
about,
own
hey,
plays?
Matt, call your own plays this
Yeah,
week?
that's
I would
all.
rather have that than Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah, don't you feel like if we learned one thing from that fog cam, the camera, from the quarterback's perspective, like I think Matt Ryan could call his own plays. He looks off receivers. He gets the
Yeah.
second, third read. Let him call his own shit.
I love the fog cam. It's
great.
I read a couple articles about it today. It doesn't seem there was a couple things going for it yesterday. They had 2 of those hanging.
Oh, okay.
Cam's not one, which was one of the reasons it worked. There's
Why? Because
limitations.
just on a Sunday night they have
usually
two?
they only
Right.
usually they only have one. So for like a Sunday 1:00 game, not really.
Well, maybe they can
conceivable.
pass the hat. We'll chip in for a second one for some of these other games.
I
'cause
thought
that
it was
great.
so cool. It was.
I loved
The
it.
more they stuck with it, first you have to get used to it, and then eventually just being able to see what the QB was
The
looking
pass
at.
plays are great. The runs aren't as
Ones
interesting.
aren't as great.
Yeah.
But maybe they could start with that and then figure out how to go what.
Yeah.
The Bucks are home, trying to save their season. They're playing Carolina. I have the Panthers and Scam Newton favored by 1.5.
It's exactly what I had. Tampa's favored by 2.5.
What's the derisive nickname for Jameis Winston? If we're going to have Flat Ryan and Scam Newton? Jameis Leuston?
Jameis.
You don't like that one?
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. We can come up with a bunch.
Seamus?
It's too easy with famous Jameis to do anything negative.
Ashamed of us. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. Tampa Bay was going to win that game, and then Humphreys fumbled in Buffalo.
That was weird.
And then they lost because of a fumble in their own
Buffalo
territory.
just beat every decent team by 3 at home. Is that just their thing?
Buffalo definitely has the horseshoe of the ass. They're that
Right.
version of.
On the other hand, Tate the Snake says Panthers are a lock this week. I heard him on GM Street.
They're up and down, ebbs and flows.
This is definitely a loser leaves town match, I think.
Wait, let me see what you're gonna say.
No, Panthers Bucks.
Oh, this one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think whoever loses this does not make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's
I know
pretty bad.
I know week 8 it's a little early to say that, but I just find it hard to believe the Bucks are going to rally from 2-5. And
Maybe
I find
not
it-
the Panthers. That maybe at 2-5 with an unaspiring offense like that, the Bucks would be done.
I just figure if the Panthers lose this game, their season's broken.
Yeah.
I don't see them rallying back, going like 8-0. When does Kuechly come back?
He was a coach this week, and they're basically saying he's day to day. So
boy.
Didn't even need him yesterday. Could have won that game. He gave up 4
Yeah, it's true.
completions. So stupid.
he's a great coach.
What do you say to Mitch Trubisky after that game? Do you say good game? What do you do?
I don't know.
Mitch, man, nice job. Nice job. I think you give him a nice job.
Does he even have to come in? Like, we'll just have the backup, like, hand off. And, like, all right, and then what might be a passing
Mike
situation.
Glennon was so jealous. He's
Once
like, I
a
could have done
quarter.
that.
Mike
Yeah,
Glenn's like,
exactly.
"I'm gonna fucking hand it off."
Exactly.
Well, the thing is, he does make them dangerous because he can sprint out to
He
either
runs a
side.
little bit,
He does.
yeah.
He spreads the field for them a little bit. Seahawks, possibly the other member of our tees. Although I gotta say, I'd be afraid to go against Deshaun Watson with money at stake.
This is
he
why
does scare me.
I think this is the premier game of the week.
Seattle home for Houston. You're crazy.
No, why?
No, you're just being diplomatic.
Well,
Washington Dallas is the best game.
Don't you want it? No, you're most interested. Watson's very exciting, we still don't know. We still don't know.
I'm
what we're
interested to see if your team's for real because you
Okay.
haven't shown me anything.
We are
yet.
for real. We're for real.
I have the Seahawks at home, laying 7.5 points to the Texans.
Oh, you see, you think this is a bigger blowout than Vegas does. I said 4.5, and it's 5.5. But I don't think this is a teaser game. Let's just enjoy this. I'm excited to see a 6-3 third quarter after promoting this game so much.
I have 2 watchables. Bills Raiders. I'm excited to see what happens in this. The Raiders are basically fending off the end of their season every week now until we get to November. I don't think they can lose another game before November.
The Raiders can't.
I don't think the Raiders can.
Well, November's one more week. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is it. Yeah.
This is it. They staved it off last week. They got to stave it this week.
That was crazy last week. That was
It was
really
crazy.
A car rolling left, threading the needle on that last play.
You know what was really crazy is anyone who bet on Alex Smith to win the MVP, how it changed in 96 hours.
Let's look at that for a second. So by the way, he's not far behind Brady. Brady's 3-1.
What's Breeze?
Ooh, I didn't even see. Brady's 3-1. Smith plus 350. Wilson plus 350.
No.
Wentz 4-1.
Come on, Wilson.
I didn't even think of Breeze. That's interesting. Although he's not
The
the
Saints.
same Breeze. Not that you don't need. You don't
Oh,
need him as
he's
much.
not nearly the same Breeze, but if they go 12-4 or something,
Nah, but I'm
gotta
saying
be
they're not
considered.
winning because of him. Really. Let's see.
He was good in the second half.
He's
yesterday.
fine. Yeah. Where is he? Wow, he's way down the list.
Yeah.
In fact, not on the list.
Wow. I really like him.
Oh no, there he is. I'm sorry. 15-1.
15-1.
15-1.
He might end up with like 4,900 yards and 30 TDs again.
Yeah.
I'm interested that the wild card, I just waived them on my fantasy, so watch out for him, is Willie Snead, who I carried
Oh, right.
like a cold sore for 7 weeks, but I
Yeah.
finally waived him. But if they can get him going with Thomas and Kamara, like all of a sudden that team's pretty explosive.
And he was hurt too, right?
Yeah, he
Ted
was
Ginn.
hurt.
Yeah. That's a
He
fun team.
initially he wasn't, he was suspended. Watchables.
Wait, do we say?
I had the Bills by 2.5 over Oakland.
Yeah, you'll get that. I said 2, and it's 3.
I like Oakland.
I don't know why. West Coast team traveling east, same thing.
That seems like
All right,
that's
let's
been
stay away.
overblown.
I think we have our teaser. I don't know if we want to say it yet. Keep going.
Yeah, I think we do too. Patriots at home against the former San Diego Chargers, now the LA Chargers. A team that I feel like the Patriots have beaten like a drum during the Brady era. Can't really remember the Chargers beating them more than maybe twice in the last 15 years.
I don't remember this game that much. Did they beat them in the playoffs?
Beat them in the
They've been
playoffs a
yeah.
couple times.
Right.
I have the Pats favored by 7 because I think this LA Chargers team is good. They are a very, very deceiving 3-4.
You don't love Ingram and Bosa and what they could potentially do to Brady. That's a
No,
problem.
I don't want to put the Pats in the tees. I like the
Right.
Chargers.
I
think they're
said
good.
8. Nonetheless, I said 8. It started at 5.5, and after last night's game, it was 7. So you got it exactly.
I would not put the Pats in the tees.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Chargers are pretty good. Rivers can fall apart. Also, they have some coaching issues. They throw away drives, the red zone stuff, and
Yeah.
stupid stuff. But I think that's a talented
Well, they're
team.
the Chargers. Being the Chargers, they probably won't beat the Patriots, but yeah, it'll be close.
It's so
Could be
funny how
close.
these former Browns go to other teams and just do really well.
Oh yeah,
You know, it's
Or-
like
or
the
guys
Browns haven't produced talent.
and that's not even counting all the guys that the Browns passed on in the
Right.
draft. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Lombardi and I were texting on Friday because he's so upset about the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, the Sixers are the Browns. They're the same. It's like, oh, here's all these young guys and the process. And it's like,
Right.
this team's not tough. We don't have anybody who actually knows how to win.
Good bet by us. Under Sixers wins. How
Oh,
many
they
wins?
Lock that down. Fultz is
41. No,
41 and a
30.
half,
Was
right?
it 41?
Yeah,
and a half?
there's 0% chance. And Embiid hasn't even gotten hurt yet.
like
Simmons is good, but the team they put together just doesn't. It's just a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And Fultz is the yips.
Right.
Have you seen Fultz shoot
Yeah,
free throws?
Nothing. Yeah.
I don't want to trash the Sixers because they have a lot of players that I like, but fuck. All right, Sunday night.
Trying to figure out if you're winning.
I feel like the Steelers and the Lions, for two teams in two different conferences, it feels like they play every year somehow. Mm-hmm. Is that possible? I feel like we've seen this
matchup.
matchup a lot.
Yeah. Bettis is going to be there for the coin toss. Yeah, we do see this a lot.
It's in Detroit. Mm-hmm. I just don't think Detroit has it this year. I have the Steelers by 4.
All right, I get this. I said 3.5, and it's only 3. Now let me count these up. 3, 4, 5,
I think
6,
you won this
7.
week.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm up 1, and I hit the Monday night exactly.
Yeah,
So I did win.
congratulations. Good for you. Kansas City at home on Monday night playing Trevor Siemian and the Denver Broncos. Siemian looked really reprehensible the last couple weeks. And I don't know what they do because their backup's Brock Osweiler. I don't know what you do at that point.
It's really bad.
Chiefs,
Paxton Lynch is just on no one's radar, right?
apparently they just whiffed on that
Just
pick.
that's it.
What do you do if you're the Broncos, Tate?
Yeah, we did that. Try to figure out a trade for them, and we pitched Joe Flacco.
Oh, God.
Try to make a big trade.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Do something. They have to have. If they want to be competitive, they have to get a quarterback.
Joe Flaccid. Am I right?
Try to do something.
What about Palmer? Even with the broken arm, take him. Did they figure out if it's his throwing arm yet?
Yeah.
They still don't know.
Yeah, he's done.
Like we can't tell if he was a lefty or righty.
It's like Osweiler. He's been left-handed the whole time.
Yeah. What's your line here?
I have the Chiefs by 9.
Thinking about it, it should be that high. I had 7. And I don't know how Denver goes in and wins this game. Like KC has to be pissed. So the teaser teams are Vikings, Chiefs, and
KC loses a very winnable, stupid Pittsburgh game. And then 96 hours later,
yeah,
loses an even stupider Oakland game.
Yeah.
And now they're 5-2 and they don't know what the hell happened.
they have to win this game.
Yeah, they're winning this game. We're going to talk about World Series and we're going to talk about Parent Corner. But first, one last break, talk about Bluehost, top-rated website provider, powering over 2 million websites for bloggers or small business owners. Bluehost has everything you need to build, host, and manage the personal or small business website you've always wanted. We needed this for House of Carbs this week. You and House went
Oh,
to
yeah.
Brooklyn, and it was just
Still
a
feeling the effects.
phenomenal 4 minutes of eating. It was on our House of Carbs has an Instagram called The House of Carbs. And we put Instagram stories up. I think we're going to run it as a video this week, but it was awesome. Hey, with Bluehost, design your website your way without being limited by templates. Simple enough for beginners, powerful enough for even the most advanced users. They have 24/7 tech support, online resources, expert services. They have been the top recommended WordPress host on WordPress.org since 2005. They make hosting your website stress-free so you can get back to what matters the most. Eating. Gambling, it doesn't even matter as much because we're not good at it. Now our listeners save 50% when you sign up at bluehost.com/Bill Simmons. That is bluehost.com/Bill Simmons. So you spent Thursday with House. And you went, where'd you go in Brooklyn?
We went to the DeKalb Market Hall, and it's got all these great eateries. It's like our farmer's market, but it's got the top chefs. Yeah, it's got like 30 different places, and we hit a lot of them. I think like 10 or 12.
You had pastrami, your cheeseburgers.
So they have Katz's Deli there, which is a New York staple. Yeah, and we ended with that. We had
pizza,
cheeseburgers. We didn't have pizza. We had some kind of like, we had pierogies. We had these lamb chops, these spicy lamb chops.
Those
You
look
would have loved
delicious.
it. It was so good. And then we had this this chorizo thing. I don't even know what it was called. We ended with donuts.
You had fried donuts, was not what I would have recommended after all the eating you did.
I've never weighed more. I know you're looking at me right now. I don't know what I have to do. I have to.
Wow, it's not like you're on TV all the time.
Yeah, that's true. I'm doing these
The TV adds 10 pounds.
Especially if I eat the camera. It's getting bad.
Good news for Harry.
Yeah, that's true.
Brooklyn, you had Stern, you had Letterman,
Billy Joel,
a Jon Stewart cameo.
Yep, he came on. Tracy Morgan.
Jimmy did some good press. It seemed like a win all the way around.
We had a good time. Yeah. It's great. Beautiful.
It's like the fourth time you've been in Brooklyn?
Third time.
A lot of people were sending him food. He was Instagramming food pictures.
Of people. Yeah, well, he did a scroll of
Did he gain weight?
everyone,
Did Jimmy gain weight?
I think so. And then he gave Letterman an award in Washington yesterday. He doesn't stop, that guy.
Mark Twain Award.
Mark Twain Award.
There was a dinner with Bill Murray.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
And we should mention our cousin's son Billy turned 6 months last week.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, exciting.
Surgery coming up. Good luck to him.
One last surgery, and then if that one goes well, which we think it will, then it doesn't have to have another one until he's like 10.
Yeah.
So keep
Good
Billy
times.
Kimmel in your thoughts and prayers. All right, baseball.
The Astros really screwed Fox here, right? By knocking out the Red Sox and the Yankees. Either one of those World Series against the Dodgers.
Can we talk about how cocky the Yankee fans got when they're up 3-2?
Especially being in Brooklyn.
Seriously, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Oh, Reggie, 77. Everyone out in LA, everyone's trying to get tickets.
Yeah.
It became the hottest ticket in like the history of LA. Nathan Hubbard wrote about it today for the Ringer.
$24,000 for
people are going nuts. I got to be there. Yeah, but the Yankees start.
Right.
It's like you have 3 wins. You
Not
need
so
4 to
fast.
win the series.
Yeah.
You're in Houston. Houston's a nightmare to play.
You haven't won yet.
Yeah. And you're going against Verlander in Game 6, who is, I would say, in, maybe top 3 guys I wouldn't want to go against in a must-win game.
And yet they had to figure out how to get to him because Game 7 just ends up being a toss-up. You can have like 7 pitchers going. It's just a stupid thing. So, my only regret is we had to fly out of Brooklyn, and all the a-hole Yankee friends of mine, I didn't get to see them, and they lost like when I landed. They lost. It was so great.
You would have loved to have seen their
just
sad
stayed an extra
faces.
day. Yeah.
And
That said, it would have been a fun series.
And the Yankee fans being the Yankee fans, they immediately spin it. Look, that was a great season. Nobody thought we would get this far.
All gravy.
It's like you guys are all buying World Series tickets.
Right. You won
2 days ago.
One playoff game in 5 years. You want to start winning.
Yeah.
Gravy.
Jesus and Marrow they were doing all this. I mean, it was funny to have the cocky Yankee fans back. Mm-hmm. But just make the World Series before you get super cocky.
Yeah. But now you're not that interested in this now, right? It would have been so much more interesting.
Yeah,
Dodgers, Yanks.
It'll be a good baseball series.
Yeah.
But
it
I
should
think
get more like 200 win teams. First time since 1970 or something. It should be a bigger deal.
I watched a lot of the Astros this year, and I had a lot of them on my fantasy team. And I just think they have just a really, really, really good baseball team, and they're really tough at home. Something about that ballpark just kind of fits, like these garbage home runs you get over that weird left field wall. And they just kind of know what they're doing. But the only thing that doesn't feel special about it is they were in the National League 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And it's like Dodgers, Astros. We were getting that 17, 19 games a year for our entire lives.
They're like, this is the first AL title. I'm like, wait a minute. No, they played the White Sox. Like, oh, no, they were a National League team.
Yeah.
I know. Like, if the Brewers played the Yankees right now. Like I'd accept. Like all right, yeah, they're a National League team now. Enough time has passed. But
Yeah, it would still feel a
Astros
tiny
is
bit
just-
weird if it was like the Brewers and the Royals in
Yeah.
the World Series. Oh, that was
it
what I
just
grew up
feels like
with.
an NL West showdown.
The Dodgers, I'm going to be really interested to see if they get a good crowd because it's such a tough ticket, and you have all the LA people out here who are going to call in favors to get in there, and it actually might work against them in some ways. I think a lot of the real fans are just priced out of this one.
They should have Tommy Lasorda right at the gate quizzing people and smacking them in the head with a ruler if they get answers wrong.
We're going to get a lot of Lasorda this week.
Good.
I just want someone to ask him why he pitched to Reggie the third time. Just throw him one
He
in the
loves
dirt.
that question.
Just one in the dirt. Just throw one. Make him think about one that bounces.
Yeah.
So who do we like?
I'm going Dodgers in 6. I'm a 7, 8, 9 guy. I like the pitching there. I think the Giants won all their World Series, having a good 7, 8, 9 relievers. The Royals beat my Mets for the same reason. They have a lot of tough outs. Kenley Jansen's on fire. Morrow, Cingrani. I think they have like 32 strikeouts to 2 walks in the postseason. That group I just mentioned, and that's phenomenal. Like a 7th or 8th inning walk. How much does that screw your team, right?
They have
To not have to worry
mastered,
about that is big, and I think the Astros are good, but I
they've
think they go
mastered
down.
the late innings bullpen.
Yeah. What do you
I
say?
actually would have talked myself into an Astros underdog pick, but they're not pitching Verlander in game 1. Mm-hmm. I can't believe that. I think he's so much more reliable than Keuchel is. I think you have to go in and cut Kershaw's legs out and win game 1, and Verlander's their best guy. Send
Unless
him in
they
there.
think that's just a freebie game, and like if Kershaw is a little jittery and they get that win, they're all of a sudden a big favorite, right? The Astros. They're up 1-0 with Verlander going.
You
game
wouldn't
2.
go Verlander 147?
I don't know.
3 days rest?
I don't think so.
No?
I think this is good.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's gonna be 100 degrees.
That is true.
100 degrees.
That's another case for the Astros. We're getting this huge heat wave in LA, and it's going to be really miserable at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
And maybe Kershaw wears out in the 6th inning instead of the 7th.
Who knows? Might be too much rest.
I will say Altuve is in like my top 8 all-time scariest I've ever been when my team is pitching to somebody. I feel like he's going to get hit every single time. He can hit any pitch. He always attacks the first pitch, and it's
Right.
always kind of disarming.
It's
They have a lot of
impossible
guys
out.
that are good, man. I like that Astros team.
Yeah.
I think it's a dead even series.
Take 'em.
If
Take
I
the
had to
Astros.
bet, I'd probably bet the underdog.
All right.
But I think it's a stay away.
Yeah. I don't want to. I can't root for the Chase Utley team. I'm glad I have the Astros to root for, because if it was Yankees Dodgers, I have an impossible time picking. But
For
root.
NBA futures, we the biggest fuck up we had when we did the big pod last week.
Putting Cleveland and everything.
No, I if you remember, I was worried about that. I didn't trust Cleveland.
What? If you remember, we have a giant bet on Cleveland Golden State.
Well, that one. I'm talking about the division
okay.
and
All right.
the wins and the over-unders, all that stuff. No, Giannis was the logical
Oh,
sleeper
yeah.
pick, but the odds weren't good enough, and we
Right.
just kind of turned our backs on it.
Are you talking about for scoring or MVP, or both?
No, MVP. He's not going to win the scoring
No.
title.
Okay.
But it just looks like he's arrived, and we
Phenomenal.
should have been there. And this was the same logic we had last year with Anthony Davis,
Mm-hmm.
the guy a year ahead of when we think they're going to win the MVP. That's when they make the leap.
Right.
And Davis's team just sucked. Giannis just has arrived.
And the highlights are so big. It's the last thing ESPN stands for. It's
He's
the
so
they're gonna
good.
Shove those highlights down your throat.
Oh, my
and you're gonna
God.
have no choice but to vote for him for MVP.
He has the perfect package of he's a phenomenal two-way player. He gets better at the end of the games. And he's good for the Twitter era
Yeah.
because every game there's like 2 or 3 Giannis highlights. I think
Right.
he's going to win.
Yeah. All right. Great.
What
What
are
is
the
it now? Let's find out.
What are the odds?
Probably even.
I'm unfortunately not allowed to
Oh,
wager on
right,
this
right,
because
right.
I have a vote, but I would recommend getting in on Giannis right now.
Regular season MVP.
Yeah,
Giannis is the favorite at 3-1.
those are still good odds. Tate,
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Giannis wins this, right?
That's still good?
I don't know. I hope he keeps it up. I think right now he's been incredible, but I don't know. I
Tate's-
want to see it.
Tate's very sour on basketball right now because Dwight Howard is saving the Hornets season. He hates Dwight Howard.
No, I'm having fun with Dwight. It's been fun.
And then the Warriors.
He doesn't like that he's saving him. He wants some picks. He want more picks.
No, he just doesn't like Dwight Howard. He's upset that Dwight Howard has been the savior.
Okay.
He never wanted Dwight Howard to be the savior. And then the Warriors showed up like they just went to Cancun for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And didn't realize the season. Oh, the season starts this week?
Right.
I thought it was.
I was
They're
happy
just-
for the Grizzlies though. That was a fun game. I like when the Grizzlies get in there, like talk shit to them and like make them act out. It was fun.
Steve Kerr has basically said in 40 different ways, well, our conditioning's not there yet, which is
Right.
basically code for these fucking guys partied the whole summer.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
They're the champs.
We should monitor the Warriors because it looks like they're going to have this up and down first month, and they'll be like 10-6,
And then win 19 out of 20.
and then they'll have the streak once everybody's in shape, right?
Yeah, like a 9-8 start, and everyone's freaking out.
Yeah,
And then they just
10-6. What's
blow it
going
out.
on? 9-7, and then they'll have some
All right.
stretch where they go like
You just say when.
29-1,
Yeah,
right?
They reel off like 27 wins or something crazy, and people just lose their minds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's in play. The other thing is, it's hard to say because we haven't seen them play a good team yet, but the Clippers might actually be good.
I love the
You
Clippers.
like them.
Yeah, the Beverly, they have a nice little Ewing theory.
Did you see
Screw
a game
Chris
yet?
Paul.
No, they only had the one home.
They played two crap
The Lakers.
teams.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're still sending people to see you, and they're not that good that you actually want to.
They got Earl
I
Watson
wasn't going to go
fired.
see the Suns on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean
That was-
that whole team
Yeah.
they quit on Earl Watson because of the Clippers.
Right.
what do you got for us, Sal?
What is this?
For plugs?
Plugs.
Oh no, we didn't do Parent Corner.
Parent
Well, I'll
Corner.
tell you what. I
forgot about Parent
I'm
Corner.
almost happy you were avoiding it. but
No,
now
let's
it's
do
not.
it. Parent Corner.
What'd you do to Matt Leinart?
No, this is bad. Like this is like we're turning the corner now. We're gonna be like a very honest, like Howard Stern show, like everything goes, and a lot of people are gonna get mad at me
Okay.
for saying this, but I spent 10, 11 days in Brooklyn. When I come back, not to get too graphic, but it's kind of like a freebie with the old lady. You know, you're gonna have a night together, right? When you come back.
Okay.
Now you're turning purple here.
Parent Corner.
Wait till I say- this
Parent
is
Corner.
Well, no, it comes back to kids. Miraculously, it's Saturday night. The kids are all asleep by 10 o'clock, which, wow, how is this going to happen? All right, so I'm not going to get into it too much, but about 10 minutes in, our 9-year-old comes knocking at the door. He hears a noise. He hears an animal, he thinks, outside making a noise that when he calls it back to us sounds a lot like my wife. Yes. And then asks what we were doing in there because he walked in on us. And I, thinking quick, said we were wrestling. And then he
sometimes
wanted to
people wrestle
know.
at night.
He wanted to know who
won the
I
wrestling
was,
match?
and I was the Undertaker. And I quickly
Smart. Good audible.
told my wife that she was Stone Cold Steve Austin. And,
But good.
And he bought it. So I think the moral of the story is just to have wrestlers in mind when you have to explain to your kids what's going on when they walk in. Very bad.
That was incredible.
Yeah,
I don't
I
even
know.
want to go now.
Yeah.
Like, how do I?
No, I know. I
don't
I
even
should
have a
made
good
something
one.
else up, but it happened Saturday.
don't
I'm
even have
how
a
do
good
I not,
one.
How do I not talk about this? And yeah, it's embarrassing, and I'll probably never get it again because of that.
Wow. Do I even go?
An animal. That was great.
Yeah,
I
you
think
have to
should.
go.
This
Right.
is like, I mean, it's so
It's
anticlimactic.
fine. It's fine.
No, my daughter, my daughter's 12 and a half, and she's starting to
Yeah.
look like a very attractive woman. And we had to go to a memorial service, unfortunately, but then she had a bar mitzvah that night, and she had this dress that looked like a dress like people would wear in college, and necklace, and she's worried about her hair now. And
Talk about the bar mitzvah run though. Like this was interesting. I mean, we never discussed this. There were
Oh,
like
yeah.
10 of them lined up, right?
But there's an Excel sheet. My daughter's school has a lot of Jewish kids, and they wanted to make sure there was no people planning a bar mitzvah on the same night or a bat mitzvah. And there was an Excel sheet that started to go out a year ago with people claiming dates.
Unbelievable.
So she's been to 3. So she goes to this bat mitzvah for a teammate of hers on a soccer team. And they're there, and she doesn't know what boys are there, and she's like, "Oh, it's 6th grade boys," like derisively, like not cool enough to
Right.
be the, she only looks at 7th and 8th
Sure.
grade boys. So right there, I'd want to kill myself. And so she goes, and we leave her for like 3 hours. And at some point, I'm like, I'm going to check Instagram. I wonder if she did any videos.
Oh no.
And it's just Instagram stories of her and her friends all dancing. It's like watching drunk people doing things, but nobody's drunk. They're
Right.
just dumbass 12-year-olds dancing and screaming and talking. And then at one point she was live for 4 minutes, and I just saw the future, and I really got scared. Because it was just one of those, like, here I am, I'm doing stuff, I'm with my friends, we're having a great time. And I was just like, is this the next 30 years of my life, 20 years, where I'm kind of, my daughter's not telling me stuff, and then I'm picking up bits and pieces on social media.
You can't say no to any of it, right?
Can't really say no. You just gotta, at some point, kind of let the bird out of the cage a little bit.
Or just unfollow.
Yeah.
You can't though. How do you unfollow? You want to know what's going on.
Wait till she starts wrestling. It's going to be really bad.
Not really ready to think about that yet. All right, what do you have to
Jimmy
plug?
Kimmel Live. George Clooney tonight and Walking Dead's Norman Reedus. Lots of fun. Against All Odds, we're going to Wednesday night. Very special baseball guest. May have dabbled in some gambling before. Gotten in trouble. And I'm at The Cousin Sal on Twitter.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, which has been uneven this season, but has had great individual moments and scenes.
Yeah.
The stuff with JB Smoove and the flies.
Oh,
did you
that's
watch
great,
it last
too.
night?
Yeah, I did.
And the jeans, and he's like, I gotta get myself some Jamaican pants, and that was as good of a 3 minutes as we've had on that show this season. I was dying.
Big Super Dave fan, Funkhauser, and anytime he gives him that stare, I'm just in stitches. That's it.
Well, you had a relationship with Super Dave.
Yeah, you did too. We had him on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is he gonna come back? You
We
think?
should go out to dinner with him. He's got a lot of pearls.
You think he would come on the podcast and berate us?
For sure.
Why don't we do that next week?
Okay.
All
let's
right.
do it.
Next week, Super Dave will be on.
All right, good.
Cousin Sal, good job by you.
Good job by you.
Let's talk about quickly. Thanks to Proper Cloth. Stop wearing shirts that don't fit. Start wearing custom shirts that fit perfectly because you created them by answering 10 easy questions. Bring Proper Cloth into your life. They guarantee a perfect fit. Go to propercloth.com/BS. Enter gift code BS. Save $20 on your first shirt. Again, propercloth.com/BS. Gift code BS. And Bluehost. Remember, they make hosting your website stress-free. Top-rated website provider powering over 2 million websites from bloggers to small business owners. They have everything you need to build, host, and manage a personal or small business website. You've always wanted. Our listeners save 50% when you sign up at bluehost.com/Bill Simmons. And don't forget about SeatGeek, NBA tickets. First timers, NBA Palooza is the promo code. You get $30 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Coming back next week with a couple new podcasts on the BS Pod. Don't forget about Against All Odds. And that's it. Thanks for listening.